In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you the exact AI automation roadmap I'd follow if I was starting from scratch in 2026 with zero coding background. You see, I've spent the last 8 years building automation systems that have generated my clients over $25 million in revenue. And after working with dozens of non-technical professionals, I've boiled down everything I know into a system so simple that literally anyone can follow it. So first, I'm going to show you the 3 traps you need to avoid when starting out building AI automations, and then I'm going to give you the full roadmap you need to follow. So let's get into it. So trap number 1 is something I've spoken about before, and I call this tool hopping. So every week, someone on X says, this tool is going to be huge. And the comments are always the same. Oh my God, I need this. This is a game changer. Adding this to my stack. And the same people every single week, never actually building anything. So they sign up, they watch tutorials, they get confused, and then maybe they move on to the next tool. So Zapier, Make, N8N, Claude Code, OpenClaw, Cursor, Lovable, the list never ends. And 3 months later, they have subscribed to 15 AI tools and have 0 workflows running in production. They know a little bit about everything and a lot about nothing. You can go open your laptop right now. How many tools do you have accounts for that you've never actually built anything with? And that's what tool hopping costs you. Months of time and 0 depth. Now listen, I'm not saying you need depth in just one thing. What I am saying is that it's preferred to go deep on one tool first, so you have some level of mastery and experience before trying to spread yourself too thin across multiple different tools. So let's get into trap number 2, following advanced tutorials. You see, 90% of the N8N or Claude Code tutorials on YouTube right now are often made by developers and the guys who have already been using this tool for months. And they assume that you already understand APIs, JSON, webhooks, environmental variables, and they walk you through a 50-node workflow and they say you just follow along. And it seems to work fine in a tutorial, but when you have to try it yourself, it just breaks. You have no idea why. You try looking at the errors, but it just feels too complex. So you start thinking, well, maybe I'm not technical enough for this. And I'm going to tell you now, that's just completely wrong. These tutorials were never built for you. They were built for people who already know the basics. Like, I don't come from an engineering background. I come from marketing and business operations. I don't teach people how to code. I don't know how to code myself. I teach people how to think in systems. And that's why my students actually build things that run in production instead of getting stuck in tutorial hell. So trap number 3 is not knowing what to build. So if you're thinking, I know AI is important, I just don't know where to start. So overwhelmed with all the options and all of the tools. And this is what most of my students say when they join my mentorship. And just so you know, this is not a motivation problem. You've probably been consuming content for months, which means you're motivated enough. And it's not an intelligence problem. You run a business or you work a job, you manage teams, you make complex decisions daily, which means you're clearly smart enough. So in my opinion, what's missing is direction. What to focus on first and what to ignore. And nobody has given you the answer yet, so let me give it to you right now. So now you know what's keeping you stuck. We've just gone over the 3 traps. So now let me give you the roadmap that I promised. And after working with dozens of non-technical professionals, I've learned that the simpler the system, the more people actually follow through with it. So I stripped this down to just 3 things. 1 tool, 1 problem, and 1 workflow. So let's talk about that 1 tool for a second. I always recommend to pick 1 tool and get dangerous with it. Stop hopping from 1 tool to another. Stop reading comparison threads on X. Just choose 1 and stick to it and learn it properly. Now, after 8 years across Zapier, Make, Klaviyo, Go High Level, I landed on N8N about 2 years ago, and I'd bet my entire career on it. And the cool thing is, it's visual. So you drag and drop workflows on a canvas. There's no coding required. It's got over 400 integrations, so it connects to pretty much everything you're already using. You can self-host it, which means you own your data. Nobody can raise your prices or shut you down. And it's got AI built right into it with the AI builder, but also the LLM nodes. So you're not bolting on AI as an afterthought. Look, tools like OpenClaw are exciting to use. There's a lot of hype around it right now. Claude Code is powerful as well. And we do teach how to use them inside my mentorship, but that comes later into the course. Step 1 is learning the basics with N8N, building a foundation so that you can get more advanced and use tools like Claude Code and OpenClaw later. So you've got the tool, now you need to know where to use it. And this is where you figure out what that one problem is. So I want you to think for a second about the most painful, repetitive, manual task you do at work right now. The task that you just hate to even look at. The one that makes you groan every time it hits your desk. So it might be manually scraping leads, building reports from 3 different sources, sending follow-ups to clients. You know the deal. So that is your target, the most annoying problem you have. Don't go for the most fascinating, crazy, complex thing to automate. Don't try to replicate the fancy 50-node workflow you found on Twitter, which looks cool online, but there's nothing in real life. Go for the thing that wastes most of your time. And once you've figured out what to automate, let's move on to how to automate. And this is where we get onto the one workflow. This is a step that no one actually shows you on YouTube. This is the real meat of this video. Before you touch N8N, grab a piece of paper or open up your notes on your laptop and map out the process you want to automate. So what triggers it? Where does the data come from? What needs to be done with that data? And then what is the ideal output? Thing is, if you can't map this on paper, how are you ever going to build it in the tool? A very important part of the process. Well, let me give you a real example. So say every time a new lead fills out a form on your website, you manually check your CRM, you copy their details into a Google Sheet, you write them a personalized follow-up email, and then you message your sales team on Slack. That whole thing takes you 10, 15 minutes every single time a new lead comes in. Multiply that by 20 leads a week, and you're burning hours on something that a simple 5-node workflow could handle in seconds. So here's how that workflow might look. So node number 1 is the trigger. So new form submission comes in, and that triggers the workflow. Node number 2, we've got to pull the data, right? So we're going to grab the leads information from your CRM. Node number 3 is the transformation. So we're going to format the data or log it into Google Sheets. Node number 4 is the AI step. We're going to write a personalized follow-up email based on what the lead is asking about. And then node number 5 is the final output. So we're going to send the email and then we're going to ping your sales team on Slack. That's it. In just 5, maybe even 6 nodes, you just automated a process that would take you hours every single week. And now it runs every single time without you lifting a finger. So now you've got to just build it ugly. Your first version will probably break and you'll feel like giving up halfway, but that's completely normal. Version 2 will handle most cases, but might miss some of your edge cases. And when you get to version 3, it should be pretty solid. And that is honestly the real process of going from idea to production-ready workflow. First, you make it work, and then you can perfect it later. I always say we start simple, and then we layer on complexity further down the line. Building momentum and actually getting you through a workflow and having it running and working is going to give you that dopamine of, wow, I've done this. So if you compare that to trying to grind your way through like a 20, 30, 40 node workflow, and all of the error handling and the troubleshooting that you'll have to go through, it could take you days or even weeks to get that finished. And that's not going to give you any momentum. So the thing is, on YouTube, version 1 always works because they showed you the one take that ran perfectly. And real life looks nothing like that. So ignore everything else until you have that first workflow running. So Python, MCP servers, 50-node templates, OpenClaw, none of that matters yet. So let me tell you about Chris Cole. He's a civil engineer in the San Francisco Bay Area. He runs a small civil engineering business with no coding background. Chris watched N8N tutorials for a month and built absolutely nothing. Then he joined my mentorship and started building for his actual job. His clients send him a bunch of government documents packed with data that needs to go into Tableau for reporting. So he built a workflow to automate the whole thing, right? Version 1 broke. He rebuilt it, broke again, and he just kept going. And now, 26 versions later, he's got something that does exactly what he wants. And that same process that used to take days now runs in just seconds. And he doesn't even have to touch it. I mean, he said to me, I don't have to do anything. It just runs in the background. So So if you want to check out the full case study, it's on my channel where he walks through the actual workflows that he's been building live on screen, and I'm going to put the link below in the description. And one of our mentorship members who's been in the group the longest, Kevin Ellison, he's 63 years old. He's spent the last 35 years in marketing, again with zero technical background. And Kevin could see where AI was heading, but didn't really know where to start. He'd tried make.com and got stuck. He joined the program and started from the fundamentals. And now he's built a full content management system that takes a creative brief into a keyword strategy, to content calendar, to blog posts, to images, all generated automatically and dropped into organized Google folders. Now, what used to take him days now literally takes minutes. And in his words, he says he just even look at the cost. He's getting back 2, 3, 4, 5 times his investment. Anyhow, you can also watch Kevin's case study on my channel. I'm going to link that below. So here's what you actually need to do this week. Pick the most annoying, repetitive task at your job or in your business, map it out in a document or on paper, and then open N8N and build it in 5 to 10 notes. You can talk to Claude if you need to, if you need that extra guidance and on help, but just get it working. But here's the thing, you can absolutely do this on your own. Everything I just gave you in this video is the roadmap. One tool, one problem, one workflow. And people like Chris and Kevin and many others did the exact same thing, and you can too. But if you want to skip the months of trial and error, and if you want someone who's done this for 8 years to look at your workflows, tell you what's wrong and show you exactly how to fix it, well, that's what the AI Operator Mentorship Program is for. Every week, I work directly with students like Chris and Kevin. We build production-ready workflows together. I teach you how to think in systems, and you get real support whenever you're stuck. You can see all the case studies on my YouTube channel, and you can see what people with zero technical background are building in 60 and 90 days. Now, here's the thing. I only take on a limited number of people each month because I personally review every single application, and I want to make sure that you get enough of my time inside of the mentorship to make it worth it for you. So if you're serious about this, you can click the first link in the description below to apply now. See you on the inside.